Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about 5 players that balled out in the Washington football team's 34-30 Week 4 win against the Atlanta Falcons. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. Also hit that like button and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. And also check out WinView. You can enter a bunch of free contests to win some money. Use the code in the description. Let's get right into the video. Okay, so overall, I thought there was a lot of players that played well. Mostly on the offense, there was 1 or 2 on the defense who we will talk about. So we're going to be talking about 5 players that I thought played really well and really shined, against the Atlanta Falcons. If you want me to do a video of players I think struggled, I can also do that as well. So the first player that I think absolutely balled out, and the first 2 are pretty obvious. Terry McLaurin was just an absolute beast against the Atlanta Falcons. He always is, but we got to see what Curtis Samuel does to this offense, the attention that he brings, when he goes out in motion, the defenders have to react to that, and that helped free up Terry McLaurin just a little bit more in this game. He had 6 catches, 123 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and could have been more. He was open like 2 or 3 other times where, if Taylor Heinicke throws it a little bit earlier or with a little bit more velocity, he probably could have had 175 yards. And he also dropped 1, but that was his only bad play of the game. He really saved us this game, and I think he was our best player. 6 catches, 123 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He has been amazing this year. No doubt a top 10 receiver in the NFL. And you add, his character. He's just a great guy. I love that Terry McLaurin is on this football team. He made a bunch of clutch plays. He had that touchdown before, I think it was at the end of the first quarter or early second quarter, on an absolute dime by Taylor Heinicke. And then, made a few other really big catches down the stretch. And then, of course, the catch from Taylor Heinicke where he ran a filthy route. I don't know on who it was. It might have been Fabian Moreau, but he ran a filthy route. Taylor Heinicke couldn't throw it to him then because, he was under pressure. He, goes, throws up a, prayer, and Taylor Heinicke kind of boxes the corner out and just makes a great play. Terry McLaurin is an absolute beast, and I am so happy that he is on this team. He is no doubt a top 10 receiver in this league, and he's climbing up the ranks. The next player, obviously, Taylor Heinicke had a good game against the Atlanta Falcons. He had some, there are some Twitter haters, and there were some bad plays. There were some bad plays, but when it mattered most, he stepped up, and he won us the game. Him, Terry McLaurin, and a couple other players, which I will mention, helped win us the game. He just down the stretch was great. And yes, that throw to Terry McLaurin, yes, that's a little bit lucky, but Terry was, somewhat open, and he kind of had to do that. Not much time left. We had to score, 8 points, and really more than that, because at that point our defense wasn't stopping anyone. So Heinicke knew the situation. Even though his 1st and 10 might not have been the smartest play, he made the play. And look at the stats. He had 23 for 33, 290 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions, with a passer rating of 127.1. Had a good QBR, but I don't really like the QBR stat. You look at Matt Ryan had a 65 QBR, and he played really well. Let's see. I'm trying to look here, and this stat right here, he started 3.5 games and already has thrown 8 touchdowns for almost 1,000 yards with a rating of 105.9. I think he only has 3 picks on the year, and also has 140 yards on the ground with 2 touchdowns. He's been pretty good for us, and he provides a spark. Yes, like I said, he does have some mistakes. There should have been a pick in the, right in the red zone, right at the end zone, on 3rd and goal. Should have been a pick, but we got fortunate right there. And one thing I think he needs to work on, it wasn't an issue really in the first couple games, but this past game it was. He needs to put his receivers in better situations in terms of there was at least 2 or 3 times where he put his receiver in harm's way. One time with Gibson, where just don't throw that pass. Gibson got hurt in the ribs. We'll see how how healthy he is this week. Twice to Terry McLaurin, where it's kind of a hospital pass. But besides that, I thought he played really well, and he's a gamer. I really like how he is down the stretch. Really helped us win the Giants game at the end, and of course this Falcons game. Another guy that I'm gonna put the whole unit in this. I don't want to single out one guy, because the whole offensive line so far has been really good. Definitely a top 10 offensive line so far. I don't know where they rank in on PFF, and again, gotta take it with a grain of salt. I don't know where they rank, but it's got to be up there. And these are the grades from last week against the Falcons. Charles Leno 89.6, Eric Flowers 78.4, and Chase Roulier 85.7. Really, anything above like a 65 is pretty good for PFF. And Sam Cosmi, I think he had like a 70 grade overall. He was good, not as good as he usually is, but he was good. And I mean, our offensive line, Charles Leno, he struggled a little bit early on, but he's been pretty good for us, especially the last couple games. I think it just took him, Cosmi, and some others a little bit of time to adjust, because they're playing with new guys. So the offensive line has been really good, I think they've only allowed 3 sacks on the year, and one of those for sure was on Taylor Heinicke in the Giants game. I can't remember the other 2. I think those were on the offensive line, one with Fitz and another with Taylor Heinicke. But this offensive line has been good for us in the run game, and also in the pass blocking game, and I really like what Sam Cosmi is looking like. He's looking like a franchise tackle, whether it's on the right side or the left side. Right now he's on the right side. Maybe in the future they move him to the left. But if Charles Leno continues to play well, maybe they just keep Charles Leno here for another year or 2. I'm really liking how this offensive line is playing, protecting Taylor Heinicke, and it also helps that Taylor Heinicke is very mobile, which helps avoid sacks as well. I love this offensive line. Brandon Sheriff is going to be out for 2-3 weeks. We'll see, though. Wes Schweitzer is a really good backup, probably one of the best backup guards in the NFL. And I think there's going to be a drop-off, but not a huge drop-off, because I do like what Wes Schweitzer can do. The next guy, only player on the defense on this list, is Jonathan Allen. He was really good in the run game, and he was, Washington's highest graded player overall with a 93.5 overall grade on PFF, had 2 pressures and a 26.7% pass rush win rate, and he's been really good for us this year. Has 3 sacks, been really good in the run game. Besides the Bills game, that was his only game he really didn't get much pressure. But he got some pressure in this game, was a force in the run game, and he's just a bully. He is just a bully. Great player for us. He's been our best defensive player, and he showed out again. I thought our defensive line overall played pretty well in the run game. Just, needs to get a little bit more pressure, though, on the quarterback, especially against someone like Matt Ryan. But Jonathan Allen was really good for us on Sunday, and that was money really well spent for the Washington football team, because if he continues to have a season like he has had this season for the rest of the season, and he ends up, let's say, 9 sacks and continues his dominance, maybe even more than that, then Washington, if they didn't pay him before the season, would be paying him like $4 or $5 million more per year. So that was a great move by them. The next player is J.D. McKissic. I was going to put Antonio Gibson in here, but just a couple things made me put J.D. McKissic in over him, just because of the late game heroics he had, and also his pass protection and blitz pickups in this game were really good. He saved a couple sacks, and that was really good by J.D. McKissic. He's had 92 receptions since signing with Washington last season, and Alvin Kamara is the only running back with more receptions since then with 93. And J.D. McKissic's going to pass Alvin Kamara, because he's not getting a lot of targets with Jameis Winston as his quarterback. But you look at J.D. McKissic's stats, didn't do amazing in the running game. 7 carries, 15 yards, 2.1 yards per carry. But I think those numbers are very misleading, because he got at least 3, maybe 4 carries right in the, inside the 5-yard line. So that's, definitely skewed right there. So, and he had a nice 10-yard run. But in the receiving game, pass catching game, he's probably a top 3, top 5 receiving back in the NFL. Had 5 catches for 44 yards and a touchdown. Had that huge touchdown for us in the final 35 seconds of the game. Caught all 5 of his targets. I think him and Antonio Gibson need to get targeted more. I think you look at the targets right here, they got both targeted 7 times. They both got targeted 7 times, and they caught all 7 passes. I think that shows you, and if you throw Jarrett Patterson in there, that's 8 for 8. And I think you got to target these guys more because, at least give J.D. McKissic a couple more carries. Definitely, I want Gibson getting more than 2 targets in a game. Antonio Gibson needs 3-4 plus targets in a game. I like Terry McLaurin getting all these targets. That's great. But need to see Gibson getting a couple more targets as well. It's going to be hard to share the wealth around because Curtis Samuel's coming back. But I guess Logan Thomas is, going to be out for a week or 2, maybe even more. But J.D. McKissic is a huge asset to this team. Really clutch plays for us. He had obviously that 30-yard touchdown, but he also had another play. I don't know I think it was on that same drive, might have been the drive before, where it was like 3rd and 7, and he catches it right at the 5-yard line and makes like a nice spin move right when he's getting tackled and gets the first down. Just some super clutch plays, and he was even open other times as well. But those are the 5 players I think really balled out. Some other, honorable mentions. Antonio Gibson played well. I thought he played well, averaged 4.5 yards per carry, 1 touchdown, and also had 2 catches for 12 yards. He played well. And that's really it. Curtis Samuel's another guy. He played well. Only 25 snaps, so his numbers are lower, but he was really clutch for us. The defense, I really don't want to give any other guys that much credit. You could say Deron Payne, maybe Montez Sweat, but that is it. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. And remember, check out WinView, link in the description. Peace.